December 18th, 1944. Ardennes Forest, Belgium. 2:41 p.m. The world explodes without warning. A deafening artillery shell slams into the frozen earth. Then another. And another. The forest disappears behind smoke, dirt, and flying steel. Private Daniel Mercer throws himself into a shallow fighting position as the barrage tears through the American line. Trees snap like matchsticks. Snow erupts into the air. Men scream over the thunder of explosions. The battlefield has become pure chaos. You can almost feel the ground shaking beneath him. Every impact rattles his bones. Every second feels longer than the last. Mercer presses himself deeper into the frozen earth, his rifle clutched tightly against his chest. The barrage shows no sign of stopping. German artillery continues hammering the position relentlessly. A shell detonates nearby. Too close. The blast throws Mercer violently against the side of the trench. Pain explodes through his body. His helmet disappears. The world spins. Then darkness. Not complete darkness. Fragments. Sounds arriving from far away. Voices. Explosions. Shouting. Then silence. When Mercer finally opens his eyes, the battlefield is unrecognizable. Smoke drifts through shattered trees. Ruined defensive positions stretch across the snow-covered landscape. The artillery barrage has ended, but something feels wrong immediately. Very wrong. The voices are gone. No orders. No movement. Nothing. Mercer tries to sit up. Pain shoots through his left shoulder instantly. A piece of shrapnel has torn through his uniform. Blood stains the fabric. Not fatal. But bad enough. His head pounds violently. Every breath hurts. Yet somehow, he's alive. Barely. The realization should bring relief. Instead, it brings something else. Confusion. Because the position around him is empty. Completely empty. Mercer struggles to his feet slowly. The trenches are destroyed. Equipment litters the ground. Broken rifles. Torn packs. Discarded helmets. But no soldiers. No Americans. No Germans. Nobody. The artillery barrage forced everyone to move. Retreat. Advance. Reposition. Something happened while Mercer was unconscious. And whatever happened, he missed it. You can almost feel the isolation closing around him. The terrible realization that the battle moved on without him. Mercer searches the area carefully. Then he finds it. A casualty tag, attached to a temporary battlefield report. Names listed hastily during the retreat. Missing. Killed. Wounded. His eyes stop on one entry. Private Daniel Mercer, Kia. Killed in action. Declared dead. Mercer stares at the words. Not because he's shocked. Because someone actually believed it. Someone searched the battlefield, found destruction, found no survivors, and made a decision. The unit moved on. Without him. As far as headquarters is concerned, Private Daniel Mercer no longer exists. The war has already recorded his death. Then distant voices suddenly echo through the trees. German. Mercer freezes instantly. The enemy is close. Very close. The artillery barrage was only the beginning. German infantry is advancing through the shattered American positions now. Searching. Clearing. Finishing what the artillery started. Mercer drops into cover behind a ruined log. His wounded shoulder burns with every movement. His ammunition pouch feels alarmingly light. 3 magazines. That's all. No medic. No radio. No support. And no one coming to rescue a soldier officially listed as dead. The voices grow closer. Boots crunch through snow. Branches snap. Mercer slowly raises his rifle. Because one thing is becoming painfully clear. If he wants to survive, he'll have to do it alone. And before this battle ends, the dead soldier is about to start fighting again. December 18th, 1944. Ardennes Forest, Belgium. 4:08 p.m. The snow begins falling again. Slowly at first, then heavier, covering shell craters, covering footprints, covering evidence. Private Daniel Mercer crouches behind a shattered pine tree, listening carefully as German voices drift through the ruined battlefield. They sound relaxed, confident, because from their perspective, the position has already fallen. The Americans retreated. The survivors fled. The dead remained behind. And Daniel Mercer is supposed to be one of them. You can almost feel the bitter irony. The enemy believes he's dead. His own army believes he's dead. Yet his heart continues beating. His rifle remains loaded. And as long as both remain true, the fight isn't over. Mercer carefully checks his supplies. 3 magazines. 32 rounds total. 1 canteen. Half full. A small field dressing. No food. No radio. Nothing else. The inventory takes less than 30 seconds. The reality behind it feels much longer, because every item now represents survival. Every bullet matters. Every drop of water matters. Every decision matters. A distant engine rumbles somewhere through the forest. German vehicles. The offensive is still moving forward. The battle isn't ending. It's spreading. Mercer peers through the trees. 3 German soldiers move cautiously through the destroyed American positions, searching, checking bodies, looking for survivors. One of them approaches dangerously close. 20 yards. 15. 10. Mercer's finger tightens slightly on the trigger. Not yet. Closer. The German pauses beside a ruined trench, looks down, turns away, and keeps moving. Mercer exhales slowly. A fight avoided. For now. Because every shot fired reveals his position, and every revealed position becomes a target. As darkness approaches, the battlefield changes again. The Germans become less visible. The forest becomes larger, and Mercer finally begins moving. Carefully. Painfully. His wounded shoulder protests every step. Blood continues soaking through the bandage. Not enough to kill him quickly. Enough to weaken him slowly. The worst kind of wound. Mercer moves through shell craters and shattered trenches, searching for anything useful. Food. Water. A working radio. Anything. Then he finds something unexpected. An abandoned machine gun position. Destroyed during the barrage. Most of the equipment is ruined. But not all of it. A wooden ammunition box sits partially buried beneath debris. Mercer opens it carefully. Inside, machine gun belts. Useless. Then beneath them, a small ration packet. Crushed. Damaged. But edible. The discovery feels like winning a lottery. Because survival changes your perspective. Things that once seemed insignificant suddenly become priceless. Mercer eats slowly. Every bite matters. Night finally settles over the forest. Darkness consumes the battlefield completely. The temperature drops sharply. The wounded soldier curls into the remains of a collapsed bunker. Not comfortable. Not safe. But hidden. And hidden is enough. Outside, German patrols continue moving through the forest. Flashlights occasionally sweep through the darkness. Voices drift across the frozen landscape. Mercer remains perfectly still, listening, waiting, trying not to think about headquarters, trying not to imagine his name appearing on casualty lists, trying not to imagine his family eventually receiving the telegram, killed in action. The words refuse to leave his mind, because somewhere far away, someone is already mourning him. Someone already believes he's gone forever. Mercer closes his eyes briefly. Not to sleep. Just to rest. But sleep comes anyway. Exhaustion eventually wins every argument. Hours pass. Then sometime after midnight, a sound wakes him instantly. Not artillery. Not gunfire. Footsteps. Close. Very close. Mercer's eyes snap open. The footsteps stop directly outside the ruined bunker. Silence follows. A long silence. Then a voice speaks softly in German. And suddenly Mercer realizes something terrifying. The enemy hasn't moved on. They've found his hiding place. December 19th, 1944. Ardennes Forest, Belgium. 12:47 a.m. The footsteps stop directly outside the bunker. Private Daniel Mercer doesn't move, doesn't breathe. The ruined bunker is barely large enough to hide inside. Concrete walls cracked. Roof partially collapsed. A poor shelter. But right now, it's the only thing standing between him and capture. Outside, snow drifts quietly through the darkness. Then comes the voice again. German. Close enough to hear clearly. Mercer slowly raises his rifle. His wounded shoulder screams in protest. Pain shoots through his arm. He ignores it. Because pain is still better than being discovered. You can almost feel his heartbeat pounding inside the cramped bunker. Every second stretches longer. The German soldier says something to another man nearby. A second voice responds. Two of them. Maybe three. A patrol. Searching the battlefield one final time before dawn. Mercer grips the rifle tighter. If they enter, he has no choice. The flashlight beam suddenly appears. A thin line of white light sliding across the bunker entrance. Slowly, methodically, looking, searching. The beam pauses. Directly on the opening, Mercer stops breathing completely. The flashlight remains there. 1 second. 2. 3. Then it moves away. For a moment, hope returns. Maybe they're leaving. Maybe they didn't see anything. Then boots crunch closer. One soldier is approaching. Mercer can hear every step now. 5 yards. 4. 3. The silhouette appears at the entrance, dark against the snow-covered night. A rifle slung across his shoulder. The German leans slightly forward, trying to see inside. Mercer realizes instantly. Another second, and he'll be discovered. The decision makes itself. The rifle fires. Boom. The muzzle flash fills the bunker. The German soldier collapses immediately. Outside, chaos erupts. Shouting. German voices yelling orders. Another flashlight swings toward the bunker. Mercer fires again. Boom. The second shot shatters the light. Darkness returns instantly. Then gunfire explodes from outside. Bullets slam into the concrete walls. Chunks of stone fly through the air. Mercer drops lower. The bunker shakes beneath the impacts. The enemy knows exactly where he is now. The hidden survivor has revealed himself, and the entire patrol is reacting. You can almost feel the situation collapsing around him. One wounded soldier. Limited ammunition. Multiple enemies. No escape route. No reinforcements. No one even knows he's alive. Mercer fires again. Short bursts. Careful shots. Conserving ammunition. Because every round matters. The firefight continues for nearly 15 minutes. Then suddenly, it stops. No gunfire. No shouting. Nothing. Only the wind moving through the trees. Mercer waits. 5 minutes. 10. Still nothing. Finally, he risks a glance outside. The patrol is gone. Retreated. Not defeated. Simply withdrawn. Perhaps they believed they encountered a larger American force. Perhaps they planned to return with reinforcements. Either possibility is bad. Mercer checks his ammunition. 21 rounds remaining. Less than a day ago, he had 32. Now nearly a third is gone. And this is only the first night. The realization settles heavily over him. Because survival isn't measured in days anymore. It's measured in bullets. Then another thought appears. A dangerous thought. The Germans now know someone survived the artillery barrage. They'll search again. More carefully next time. Which means staying here is impossible. Mercer gathers what little equipment remains. The shoulder wound continues bleeding. His strength is fading slowly. But staying means death. Moving means possibility. And possibility is enough. The dead soldier leaves the bunker shortly before dawn, disappearing into the frozen forest once again. Behind him, German patrols begin organizing larger search parties. Ahead of him, 3 more days of survival await, and by the end of the next day, Mercer will face a choice far more dangerous than any firefight. A choice between staying hidden or revealing himself to save other lives. December 20th, 1944. Ardennes Forest, Belgium. 11:23 a.m. The second day begins with blood. Not enemy blood. His own. Private Daniel Mercer presses a field dressing against his shoulder as he crouches inside a shell crater overlooking a frozen road. The bandage is soaked through again. The wound is getting worse. Not dramatically. Slowly. Dangerously. The kind of wound that steals strength a little at a time, until suddenly there's nothing left. Mercer knows it. He can feel it. Every movement costs more energy now. Every step feels heavier. The cold doesn't help. The freezing air bites through his uniform relentlessly. Yet somehow, he keeps moving. Because dead men aren't supposed to feel pain. And Daniel Mercer is still feeling plenty of it. You can almost feel the exhaustion building inside him. 2 nights without proper sleep. 2 days without medical treatment. Constant danger. Constant fear. The human body can endure incredible punishment, but it always sends warnings first. Mercer's body is sending them now. The road below remains quiet for most of the morning. German vehicles occasionally pass through. Supply trucks. Infantry transports. Evidence that the offensive continues pushing west. The war is moving. Mercer is trapped behind it. Then around midday, something changes. A distant explosion echoes across the forest, followed by another. Then gunfire. Heavy gunfire. Mercer immediately raises his binoculars. Far beyond the road, smoke rises above the trees. A battle. Close. Closer than any fighting he's heard since being cut off. The sounds continue growing louder. American machine guns. German artillery. Both sides. A frontline engagement. For the first time in days, Mercer realizes friendly forces might actually be nearby. The discovery should bring hope. Instead, it creates a problem, a serious one. Because reaching friendly lines means crossing open terrain, crossing roads, crossing enemy positions, and in his condition, that might be impossible. Mercer lowers the binoculars slowly. Then he hears something else. Voices. American voices. Close. Very close. His heart immediately accelerates. Friendly soldiers. A small American patrol emerges cautiously from the forest. 4 men. Exhausted. Moving carefully. Lost. Mercer realizes it instantly. The patrol has wandered too far forward. They're walking directly toward a concealed German position near the road. A position Mercer spotted earlier that morning. The Americans haven't seen it. They can't see it. And within minutes, they'll walk straight into an ambush. Mercer's mind races. He could stay hidden, stay alive, remain silent. The patrol's fate wouldn't be his responsibility. Not officially. Not logically. After all, he's supposed to be dead. No one expects anything from dead men. But he keeps watching, and the patrol keeps moving closer. 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 You can almost feel the conflict tearing through him, because survival demands silence. Yet every instinct as a soldier demands action. The Americans are now less than 100 yards from the German position. 50. 40. Mercer knows exactly what happens next. The Germans will wait until the patrol enters the kill zone. Then open fire. The outcome is obvious. Mercer makes his decision. He stands. Pain shoots through his wounded shoulder immediately. His vision briefly blurs. But he remains standing. Then he fires. 1 shot. Boom. The sound echoes across the frozen forest. Every head turns instantly. American. German. Everyone. Mercer fires again. Boom. This time directly toward the hidden German position. The effect is immediate. The ambush collapses. German soldiers open fire prematurely. The concealed position reveals itself. The American patrol dives for cover seconds before machine gun rounds tear through the area they were just crossing. The battle erupts instantly. Mercer drops back into the crater. His hiding place is gone now. Completely gone. German soldiers begin searching for the sniper who exposed them. And Daniel Mercer has just traded his anonymity for 4 strangers' lives. The firefight continues for nearly an hour. By the time it ends, the American patrol has escaped, alive. But Mercer has paid a price. German search teams are now moving through the forest specifically looking for him. A lone American soldier. Wounded. Dangerous. Still fighting. And as darkness falls on the 3rd night, Mercer's ammunition drops to its lowest point yet. Only 9 rounds remain. 9 rounds separating life from death. 9 rounds separating a dead man from becoming one for real. And before sunrise, he'll face his final battle, the battle that will finally reveal whether the soldier declared dead survives long enough to prove everyone wrong. December 21st, 1944. Ardennes Forest, Belgium. 5:16 a.m. The 3rd morning arrives cold and grey. Snow drifts through the shattered forest. The battlefield is almost silent. Almost. Because somewhere beyond the trees, German patrols are still searching. Searching for one man. Private Daniel Mercer sits beneath the ruins of an artillery observation post overlooking a frozen valley. His hands tremble slightly. Not from fear. from exhaustion. 3 days without proper sleep. 3 days without medical treatment. 3 days of fighting after the world declared him dead. The shoulder wound has worsened. His uniform is stiff with dried blood. Every breath hurts. Every movement feels slower. Yet somehow, he's still alive. You can almost feel the stubborn determination keeping him moving now. Not strength, not adrenaline. Willpower. Pure willpower. Mercer checks his ammunition one final time. 9 rounds. That's all. 9 bullets standing between him and the enemy. The number feels impossibly small. Then he hears engines. Distant. Growing louder. German vehicles. Several of them. Mercer carefully crawls toward the edge of the observation post. Below him, a convoy emerges from the morning fog. Trucks. Infantry. At least 40 soldiers. Far too many. Mercer lowers his rifle immediately. This isn't a fight. This is suicide. Then something catches his attention. Behind the convoy. Another sound. Faint. American artillery. Friendly artillery. Closer than before. Much closer. The front line is moving. American forces are counterattacking. For the first time in days, hope becomes real. Not imagined. Not wished for. Real. But hope brings danger. Because the German convoy notices it too. The vehicles begin repositioning, preparing defensive positions, preparing to stop the American advance. Mercer studies the scene carefully, then notices something important. An artillery observation team, 3 German soldiers setting up equipment near the road. Spotters. If they remain operational, they'll direct artillery fire onto the advancing Americans. The counterattack could fail before it even begins. Mercer understands immediately. The observation team must be stopped. The problem is obvious. 3 soldiers, 9 bullets. 1 wounded American hidden behind enemy lines. You can almost feel the weight of the decision. He could stay hidden. Wait. Survive. The Americans are close now. Maybe only hours away. But if he waits, more Americans could die. Mercer closes his eyes briefly, then makes his choice. The same choice he's made repeatedly for 3 days. Duty first. Survival second. He raises the rifle. Steadies his breathing. Aims. Boom. The first spotter collapses instantly. The convoy erupts into confusion. Shouting. Movement. Mercer fires again. Boom. Second target down. German soldiers scramble for cover. The observation team breaks apart. Mercer fires a 3rd time. Boom. The final spotter disappears behind the truck. The convoy now knows exactly where the shots came from. And suddenly every rifle turns toward the observation post. Gunfire explodes. Bullets tear through the ruins. Concrete fragments spray through the air. Mercer drops low. The Germans advance immediately, closing the distance. 20 yards. 30. More. Too many. Far too many. Mercer fires carefully. Every bullet counts. 1 shot. 1 target. Another. Another. Soon only 2 rounds remain. Then 1. Then none. Silence. The rifle clicks empty. Mercer stares at it briefly. 3 days. 3 days of fighting. 3 days after being declared dead. And now, nothing remains. No ammunition. No strength. Only exhaustion. German soldiers continue approaching through the trees. Closer, closer. Then suddenly, the sky erupts. American artillery, hundreds of shells. The counterattack begins. The valley explodes beneath fire and smoke. German positions disappear beneath the barrage. Vehicles burn. Soldiers scatter. The entire battlefield transforms instantly. Mercer watches through blurred vision. Then darkness begins creeping into the edges of his sight. Not from fear. From blood loss. From exhaustion. From reaching the absolute limit of what a human body can endure. The last thing he hears is a voice. American. Close. Very close. Over here. Then another. There's someone alive. The world fades briefly. When Mercer opens his eyes again, he's staring at familiar uniforms. American soldiers. Real, not imagined. One medic kneels beside him in disbelief. How long has he been out here? No one knows. Then another soldier notices the casualty report found in Mercer's pocket. His eyes widen. That's impossible. The paper is passed around. Every man reads the same line. Private Daniel Mercer, Kia. Killed in action. Declared dead 3 days earlier. Yet here he is. Alive. Wounded. Still holding the rifle he never abandoned. The news spreads quickly through the unit. The dead soldier survived. Not for hours. For 3 days. 3 days alone behind enemy lines. 3 days fighting with no support. 3 days refusing to surrender. Years later, veterans would still talk about the discovery. Not because Mercer defeated armies. Not because he changed the war, but because he proved something simple. Sometimes survival isn't about strength. It's about refusing to quit. Refusing to stop. Refusing to accept the ending others wrote for you. And somewhere in the frozen forests of the Ardennes, the battlefield that declared him dead remained silent, because for 3 extraordinary days, one soldier fought a war that everyone else believed had already ended for him.